You need to be physically ready for what is coming next. Now, guys, I am watching a ton of videos of a ton of people get into compromising situations with other people on the road, street, or in stores. And there seems to be more fighting, shootings, and carrying ons and what have you in a lot of different environments. And there are people who are just not ready to engage. Though a lot of people seem to think they are. For whatever reason, some people all think they're like some martial art master, and they get into this fight and they're getting their asses handed to them, or vice versa, getting beat up as they initiate whatever problem that might be. There's a lot going on, and people need to be physically ready to handle what's coming next. Because seems like there's a social collapse and a social degradation in the human brain, because people are fighting over the dumbest things. People are arguing over the dumbest things, but people also letting go things that they shouldn't and they should engage in. So it's weird, but everybody needs to be combat ready. And I don't mean, guys, to sit there and, get your flak vest and get to work, but you need to be able to engage whatever's going to happen out there, because it seems like a lot of this shit is happening fast. I am watching people pull out their weapons for damn near no reason, and then there are some cases where they should have. Now, if you pull it out, you better be ready to use it. That's the other thing. There are a lot of people pulling it out and then just showing it off and shit, aiming it at the person. I'm like, if you are going to commit to that, you better be ready to use it. There are a lot of people who are just brandishing it, which I think is bullshit. Don't brandish it unless you're ready to use it. Like, if somebody else is ready to pull out a knife or something, then yeah, you pull it out and let them know, all right, I got this, you got that, let's see who wins. But if you're pulling it out and the other person's clearly unarmed, and yes, guys, you can tell if a person's armed or not. There's this false thinking that you never know what a person has. Like, with a knife, that's a little different. But you could tell if a person has a gun or not. Especially if you engage them long enough and their hands went nowhere near their waist, you can tell over time whether or not someone has it. Now, if they have a jacket on, that's hard to tell. I'm not going to sit there and be like, you don't know. You don't know. But if a person has a t-shirt on or a tank top, 9 times out of 10 you could tell. 9 times out of 10. There is that one time where you might not be able to tell. But you watch their hands and you watch their waist. You watch every move they make to see if you see a bulge or not. This is how you get yourself out of a situation. Now, even if you're carrying, you might not always, guys, want to engage. Just because you have something on you doesn't mean you always have to engage. You can look at the situation and read it and go, and start wargaming in your head. Well, shit, this goes down. This is going to go down fast, and then a lot of people can get hurt, including myself. But if you were carrying and the other guy's carrying, it might not be wise to get into a gunfight when you're in the crowd. And you have to be the responsible person in that manner. But a lot of the shit I'm seeing, guys, I'm seeing people get off for dumb shit. And I'm like, man, the guy just fucking said, excuse me. I don't like the way he said, excuse me. I mean, I legitimately heard someone say that. I was like, the amount of craziness that's going on is not making sense anymore. It's sort of like there is no comparison. There is no comparison. We're watching the society break down. I mean, the things that we are seeing, the evil we're seeing is out of control. But as far as you being combat ready, guys, we got to get into shape. We have to get into shape and we have to stay in the shape. We can't just get in shape and go, all right, I completed my... No. Once you're there, you got to stay there until you die. Because this is going to get worse. This is going to get out of hand. And we're going to need, guys, at some point or another to react. And you could be reacting, guys, to somebody needing help. If you are in poor physical health or poor physical shape, even trying to help somebody else, you could become the patient or the victim as well. Because you are not up to par to help you. So being in physical shape, guys, is not just only getting into it with somebody or fighting, but it's also responding to help somebody. Because you got to be in some kind of shape to help somebody, especially if it's in a high-stress situation. Like if there's a shooting going on, you see a kid get hit, and you run over there to grab the kid. If you're out of shape, after you grab the kid, you could die of a heart attack because you're fat. Don't be fat. Get in some kind of shape. Start walking a little bit. Start running a little. Do something. Pace your house. Go to the range. And the range is not just it. You also have to be able to handle a high stress situation. Just because you go to the range and you fire a couple rounds down range, those things don't shoot back at you, right? And there's no one yelling at you to drop the mag, put another one in, rack it, put it back in your holster, lift it. You know, like there's no one yelling at you on what to do. So when you're at a range, yeah, you're all cool, calm, collected. You're like, yeah, bing, 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 and you're hitting your target all the time. That means dick if you haven't been in a fight or a gunfight and you don't know how you're going to respond. Because there's some people who could train all day. There are cops who train all day. There are guys in the military who train all day. They get into a gunfight and they freeze up because they just didn't expect that. And I've been in shootouts before, not saying that I was, and just based on the shit that what I've done as an EMT and a fireman, but I never engaged because I didn't have anything. You know, at the time actually I was a firefighter, and this shootout happened across the street, and I just sat there and was like, holy shit. And it's a long story I don't want to get into. My point is, guys, you don't know how you're going to react until you're in a situation, right? Some people react accordingly, and then other people react the opposite of what they thought they were going to react. Some people freeze up, some people run the other way. Some people engage, and then there are people like myself who will run into the situation, no firearm, but just to help somebody else out. So there's that, right? You got to know who you are, and you got to know where you are. And if you are that coward, you got to train the coward out of you. And to train that coward, there are courses out there that you can take that are high-speed training courses that are going to get you to that level of shooting and get you to that point where, all right, I'm comfortable in a situation like this. If you take Bear's Stop Bleed course, you take the level 3, if I'm not mistaken, that teaches you in a stressful situation how to apply first aid and stop bleeding on people in a high-stress situation, right? So again, these are courses that you need to be taking to make sure that you are able to handle what comes next, and you need to train. You need to drop weight. You need to keep working out. You need to keep walking, rucking, whatever it is, because what's coming, guys, is going to need us to be the best version of ourselves to handle what is coming next. Other than that, guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.